You don't check your phone because you're bored, and you don't check it because you lack discipline. You check it because your brain learned something quietly. Silence is risky. Stillness feels wrong. And once that learning settles in, reaching for your phone stops being a choice. It becomes a reflex. Think about how your day usually starts before you stretch your body, before you fully open your eyes, before you speak a single word. Your hand moves toward your phone. There is no decision happening, no conscious thought, just motion. You don't ask yourself why, you don't pause, you simply check. One notification becomes two. Two becomes scrolling. Scrolling becomes drifting. And somehow, 10 minutes disappear without resistance. Later, you might tell yourself you'll do better, that tomorrow you'll use your phone less, that next time you'll be more aware. But tomorrow comes and nothing changes. This pattern feels personal. It feels like a flaw, like something is wrong with you, but it isn't. Your brain didn't fail, it adapted. And to understand why this keeps happening, you have to look deeper than habits or willpower. You have to look at how the brain responds to information. Your brain evolved in an environment where change mattered. Movement in the bushes could mean danger. A new sound could mean opportunity. Noticing change helped humans survive. So the brain developed a powerful system, a system designed to scan constantly, to ask one simple question again and again. Did something change? Smartphones answer that question endlessly. Every refresh, every vibration, every update, every swipe. Your brain is not asking whether the phone will be enjoyable, it is asking whether something new has appeared. This is where dopamine enters the picture. Dopamine is often described as pleasure, but that description is misleading. Dopamine is not about enjoyment. It is about anticipation. It is the chemical that says, pay attention, something might happen. Food triggers it, social connection triggers it, new information triggers it. Now, place a device in your pocket that delivers all three, constantly, randomly, without limits. Your brain treats your phone like an alert system, not like entertainment. Most checks don't deliver anything meaningful, but occasionally something does. A message, a response, a sign of relevance. That unpredictability is crucial. Your brain responds more strongly to uncertain rewards than predictable ones. This is the same mechanism behind slot machines. You don't know when the reward will appear, and because you don't know, you keep checking. Phones use the same pattern. Most checks are empty, some are rewarding, and your brain never knows which one it will be, so it keeps scanning. Over time, something subtle happens. Constant stimulation trains the nervous system. It raises the baseline level of alertness. Quiet moments begin to feel uncomfortable, not painful, just wrong. Waiting in line, sitting alone, lying in bed without input. In those moments, your brain doesn't relax, it searches. And the fastest way to stop that discomfort is to check the phone, not for joy, for relief. This is where people misunderstand the problem. They think phone use is about desire, but most of the time it's about regulation. Your brain is trying to regulate uncertainty to reduce the feeling that something important might be missing. And once this loop forms, willpower becomes unreliable, because willpower was never meant to fight biology. This is where the real story begins. Once you see this clearly, something important changes. The shame disappears. You stop asking, why am I like this? And you start asking a better question. What is my brain trying to regulate right now? That single shift matters more than most advice you hear online. Because when people talk about phone addiction, they usually talk about control, rules, limits, restrictions. But control works only when the nervous system is calm. And most people try to control phone use when they are tired, stressed, or mentally overloaded. That is why discipline keeps failing. Not because you lack it, but because discipline was never designed to override a stressed brain. When your nervous system is overloaded, your brain prioritizes relief over intention. It does not care about long-term goals, It cares about reducing discomfort now. This is why phone checking increases when life feels heavy. After a long day, after difficult conversations, during uncertainty, your phone becomes a safety signal, a way to quiet the internal noise for a moment. Understanding this doesn't excuse the behavior, but it explains it. An explanation creates space. Space between urge and action. Space where choice can slowly return. This is where real change starts, not with force, but with design. You don't need to quit your phone. You don't need extreme rules. You don't need guilt. You need to change how predictable the system is. The brain calms down when rewards are predictable. Unpredictability keeps it alert. So the first step is simple: reduce randomness. Turn off notifications that do not require immediate attention. Not all of them, just the ones that interrupt without purpose. When the phone stops surprising your brain, the urge to check weakens naturally. The second step is replacement, not removal. If you remove the phone without replacing the regulation it provides, your brain will resist. Choose a low stimulation alternative, something that offers relief without overload. Walking slowly, breathing deeply, writing a single sentence, sitting near a window. The brain does not need excitement, it needs safety. The third step is allowing stillness in small doses. Not hours, not retreats, just minutes. 2 minutes of doing nothing, no phone, no input. At first, this feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is not danger. It is withdrawal from constant stimulation. And this is important. Focus does not return through effort, it returns through tolerance. Tolerance for silence, tolerance for boredom, tolerance for not knowing. Over time, your nervous system recalibrates, the urgency fades, the checking slows down, not because you became stronger, but because your brain no longer needs constant reassurance. This is why phone addiction is not your fault. It is not a personal weakness. It is a predictable response to an environment designed for attention extraction. Once you see that clearly, you stop fighting yourself, and when the fight ends, clarity begins. Your phone is not controlling you. It is responding to a brain that learned to stay alert in a world that never rests. Understanding this won't change everything overnight, but it changes the direction. And direction matters more than speed. So the next time you feel the urge to check your phone, pause for a moment. Not to judge yourself, not to resist, just to notice. What is my brain trying to regulate right now? That's where real clarity starts.